All right, we got some we got some cool stuff coming, guys. I'm excited for our next speaker. And then right on the heels of him, we've got the AI panel, which is going to be a lot of fun too. So let's get into it and introduce everybody to Rob. Well, everybody knows Rob. Come on now. What am I
We've been
talking
trying
about?
to get him on the show forever. He's elusive.
He is. He's very
And
elusive, but we managed to corner him. As you can see, he's in the corner there. So perfect. So let's talk about Rob, proud owner of Nyland's Collision Center, and is the only body shop in the state of Colorado that has ever won the Denver A-List Award for Best Body Shop 11 consecutive years. Wow,
what?
that's pretty cool. Isn't that great? I
I
did a
was
little
just showing
sleuthing.
off.
Yeah. Right? Something's going on. He's got some magic to share with us all. Rob, thank you so much for
Oh,
joining us.
hey, I got to tell you, this is positively one of the best things going right now.
I
Great,
love it.
great job.
I love it, man. I'm so excited to have you here, Rob. It's just amazing what you're
Honor.
doing out there and doing for SCRS. If you guys didn't know this, he's a big part of what SCRS is doing these days, and just really appreciate you,
Uh,
buddy. You,
Thank
you,
you so much. Thank you so much.
you're like a
Wonderful.
pillar of doing what's right in the industry.
You know what? It's going to be hard for me to say anything that hasn't been said already with all the amazing rock stars you've had on. I mean, one right after the next. It's overwhelming.
It's a lot. It's like hanging out with giants.
Yeah.
And you're one of them, my friend. I got to tell you. So he was recently in one of the Toyota master classes that I do, and
What a great class.
what a great guy to have in the class. I mean, the guy is like on fire. So he takes some stuff that he learns from the class. He goes out and he like builds this video and he's talking about the customer experience and just, I like that you learn and you do, right? You take action. It's amazing. So one of the things that I really want to unpack with you is you are known for being incredibly customer centric. What is that and how did you get to that stage with your shop?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, like Steve mentioned before, I'm a people person, so it's easy for me
Hmm.
to get along with people, and uh, yeah, I came up in a dealership world, so and
Oh,
then went actually went and spent some time at Chrysler, Daimler Chrysler, real close to the border, over the other side of the river to you guys.
Right across from Windsor. I like where you're rolling with this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it was all about consumer. It's easy. To me, it's very, very simple. And when the industry realizes that when that person calls or shows up, that they are in need and they don't even know what they're in need of, but they need to talk to somebody that cares, that is incredibly empathetic, and wants to help them.
Hmm.
And it's not a commodity, it's a person. And if you can figure out, and there's really not that big a secret sauce to figure out how to help somebody in need.
hmm.
And that's what we try to instill in everybody that works at the shop, and all our vendors that work with us as well. It's all about the guest. Everything that we do, everything that we buy, everything, every decision made has got to be consumer guest focused.
How,
So
Robert, how do you get your team aligned with this whole vision? What are the conversations like with the team, or do they just all magically fall into your lap?
yeah, the magic, that's it.
That's
I,
it.
I I've always been amazed by magic.
uh, you know you're talking about leadership styles before, and I would say that I'm a servant leader, so I'm there with them. I pace back and forth, wearing out the tile, just interfering with everything I can interfere with,
Oh,
or otherwise, hey, let's do this, or I'll greet guests at the door, and pretty soon everybody's getting up out of their seat to greet a guest at the door because that's the way I do things, and they see how the customer responds to it, the guest responds to it, and I'll tell you, to walk a guest through this process today, and to think of the turmoil they're going through, not only the trauma of having an accident, but now all the confusion and decisions that need to be made, and they're not all within their realm. You know, they don't get to make all decisions. There's other people making decisions, like third-party payers and the shop, and this has got to be a group effort, and they need to feel like they're part of the group. So
Yeah, you certainly can't do it by yourself. They're the ones that make your vision come to life.
no, they need help. They need champions. They need somebody to help them through it. They need somebody to advise them. And they need somebody to look out for their best interests and not let somebody, you know, do something that isn't the right thing, whether it's repairing a vehicle incorrectly, or in my case, you know, I don't use any non-OEM parts. And, you know, we fight hard for our guests and get them to be active participants if necessary.
Hmm.
A common trend that I've noticed out there, and it's not a good one, is that a lot of shops are inundated. Their admin burden's gotten so heavy, and what they're
Amen.
doing is they're taking it out on the customer. It's like, I have very little time for my customer. It seems like you have figured out a way to spend a lot of time educating the customer, being there for the customer, being their advocate. How do you help your staff find that time?
I help them. If I need to pull something off of their plate or get somebody else involved, so that they have the right amount of time to take care of that guest and make the phone calls and stuff. You know, and today is an interesting time, whether it's the guest or the employees. Nobody wants to talk to each other anymore. Everybody wants to email or text or all the rest of that. I'm telling my people, don't email them back, call them. And then you can follow up email so it's all documented and everything. But people need to talk to each other. That's the best way to communicate, in my humble opinion.
Well, it seems to be working, my friend. That's amazing. When it comes to finding your people or getting them on the same page as you, what are you trying to do around finding people and then making sure that the people that you do find have the same value system that you do?
Oof. Finding people is not an easy gig. And you know, trying to be careful with what I'm saying here.
You're amongst friends. Maybe about 1,000 of us, but
Yeah, you know, there are people that are transactional and there are people that care. And I'm looking for the people that care. I'm looking for the desire. And that is not something that is common today. And finding them is very, very difficult. But when you do find them, you get them and you start doing stuff together. And I mean, every single phone call that you've had or interview that you have, we've been talking about culture, right? And everybody, every shop or business has its own culture. And some people talk about culture as its pay plans and its benefits and it's this and that. Other people, it's a fast-paced business that we want to get things going and through the system and all the rest of that. My culture is more of a slow it down a little bit. Let's take the time with the guest. Let's fix that car properly. Let's look up every procedure possible. Let's learn together. Let's be proud of what we're doing. And again, I'm trying to think it was Chase that mentioned that he does not use the flat rate system. Since I moved to Colorado and bought Nylons 18 years ago, we have never, ever been flat rate.
Yeah.
And I've been told I'm going to go out of business. And, oh my God, yeah. I've been, you know, there's been some good people come through the door, but, you know, it's all about the hours. It's not about hours for me. I barely look at the financial statement because that's just a point in time anyway. The end of history, not of what's going on right now. I just, you know, it's got to be about desire to do it right and totally take care of that guest. I don't care if you're in the paint department, the structural department, the parts department, it doesn't matter. Everybody, no, there isn't one person in that place that can do everything. It takes everybody to do everything. And they need to be treated that way. If you're on that salary type of salary and bonus, whatever the case, not flat rate, whatever it is,
Yeah.
in my world,
It changes everything, I think,
it,
Robert.
it changes the motive, if you will, to, and again, you know, I'm not one to want to, you know, just hours. I don't even count hours. To me, I count welds. You know, I look at the job itself and
Yeah.
gradually
You look at the steps in the process, and knowing that the outcome will take care of itself if you do the right steps. That's a Nick Saban thing. And by the way, you've got some fans of your YouTube channel piping in on the chat here. You got to let us know how to find your YouTube channel. What's it called?
Oh, that's easy. You just look up my name, Robert Grieve, on YouTube, and it's the Airing of Grievances, or you can look up the Airing of Grievances. And again, what is that? That's not an industry piece. That's a consumer-based way to educate people before they need it. All the potholes behind the scenes.
Robert, in closing, just to kind of break you, I think you've broken some people's misconceptions today, but doing it the way you're doing it, not being focused on the hours, not being focused on the financial statement. It sounds almost backwards. Does it work financially?
It does, and you have your ups and downs, because when you're paying hourly and stuff like that, you're making the investment first instead of paying commission and then you pay them a little bit at a time as you go. No, we make the investment first, but here's what I would leave you with. Stop chasing the money. Chase the consumer. The money will come all by itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love earlier how he said the guest. He's truly treating this as a hospitality business, as it should be. Thank you, Robert.
You're very, very welcome. I'm so grateful to you and blessed by all the people that I get to interact with. Thank you guys so much. And this has been a positively amazing experience.
Love having you, man. Thanks for your time, brother.
Robert
I appreciate
Grieve,
it.
everybody.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.